Yeah, pause YouTube. What's up? How's it going, everybody? Have for y'all today. Pretty fun UU Wi-Fi battle I had against Aaron off of my Discord. Of course, if you guys do enjoy the video and want to support this channel, hit that like button down below and answer the common question of the day. So this is a pretty cool team that was based around Volcanion that I really wanted to use, because Volcanion is a Pokemon that you don't really ever see in the UU tier anymore, and it's actually a pretty cool set that might have been given away by the thumbnail. And yeah, you can also see the team down in the description, but it's a pretty cool team. So going into this game, a very interesting team my opponent had. The Minior and the Vikavolt were a little bit like caught me off guard, essentially. Like, they're really not Pokemon you see too much in the UU tier, but I'm not gonna knock them going into this game, because I know if I underestimate one of them, then they're gonna end up absolutely destroying me. So I'm gonna treat this like a regular battle. So I'm gonna be leading off with my Gliscor, as he's gonna be leading off with a Darmanitan. This is not about to be a repeat of my upload from the other day where Darmanitan absolutely pushed my shit in, so I will make sure to be careful around this Darmanitan this time around, as I do end up just trying to go straight for my Stealth Rocks. He does end up U-turning into the Vikavolt, most likely expecting me to probably want to go for the Earthquake. I thought about maybe going for the Toxic right away, although there was a chance that maybe he was going to try to make a hard switch into Minior, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe Minior, before it gets out of its shell, it's not affected by status moves. So ultimately, I think that getting up my Rockster was definitely my best play, as I'm gonna make a safe switch here into my Assault Vested Alolan Muck, as he makes a very good double switch here. Knows I'm gonna bring in my Muck more than likely, and is gonna decide to bring in the Gliscor. So this Gliscor is actually kind of a problem, because depending on how fast it is, it can actually outspeed my Volcanion, because I'm actually modest. So I thought that maybe he would try to take this chance to go for either his Stealth Rocks or an Earthquake. So I make an aggressive switch into my Sceptile in hopes to be able to just click a Leaf Storm and get off a huge hit on something, but he does make a really good play there. Goes for the U-turn, most likely knowing that I wouldn't want to stay in and take an Earthquake, because why would you ever leave a Muck in against a Gliscor? It's not really in your best interest to do that. So yeah, pretty good play there on his part, although realistically I really had no good switch-ins to the Gliscor, so I felt like Sceptile was still a pretty good switch in there, as I'm going to aggressively switch into my Volcanion here, as he actually ends up going for the default with his Empoleon. And funny enough, his Empoleon is really his best answer to my Volcanion, so I'm actually going to stay in here and I'm going to go straight for the Fire Blast, as I actually am able to get the 10% burn. Now, I'm not too sure how much this burn actually ends up mattering, as you guys are about to see, but I'm not gonna lie, it was very, very nice that I was able to get this, because I was able to nullify his leftovers. And then right here, expecting him to actually stay in, I'm gonna catch him off guard here with my little surprise, and I'm gonna reveal to him that I am actually a Firium Z variant of Volcanion, and because I do have the Fire Blast, I will be able to turn this into Inferno Overdrive and absolutely blow back this Empoleon. There was no chance that this thing was going to be able to live, and even if it was able to live, he really couldn't do anything to my Volcanion. I mean, I guess the worst thing he would have been able to do was gone for the Toxic maybe, or the Roar, as he makes a very odd switch here into his Minior. The only reason why I think he would bring this in was because he wanted to bluff possibly having a Focus Sash, which I guess could make sense. And if he was Focus Sash here and he had gone for the Shell Smash, that actually would have been absolutely terrifying, because I don't think Scarfed Latios would have been able to outspeed him there, although I do still have my Scizor in the back. So if anything, he at least would have been able to ensure one KO before I was able to revenge kill him, as he brings in the Vikavolt, and then I miss my Hydro Pump, and that was a little bit upsetting, because Volcanion actually just would have been able to put in so much work. But honestly, just the fact that I was able to get rid of his Empoleon is more than enough, because now with his Empoleon gone, he has no Dark type, and he has no Psychic resist to my Scarf Latios in the back, which is actually able to outspeed his entire team. The only issue is that I need to chip down Mega Sceptile and the Darmanitan if I want to ensure being able to knock them out with the Psychic instead of having to force myself to go for Draco Meteor and risk missing and putting myself at -2 special attack. As I'm going to say in here on this Vikavolt, I will predict the first 2 turns here and I go for the Pursuit, as he ends up doing a whole lot of damage with that Thunderbolt. And then of course the turn I don't Pursuit is the one turn he does decide to switch out. Luckily I did not go for the Fire Punch here, like I was very close to doing so, which means I can get off a little bit more damage on the incoming Gliscor here with my knockoff. And at this point I don't really have much use for my Muk, so on the off chance that maybe I could live a U-turn, I decided to go for the Pursuit. That way I could just get off a little bit more damage on the Gliscor, but he does end up picking me off there with the U-turn as he's going to bring in his Darmanitan. Unfortunately at full HP, Darmanitan can easily live a Draco Meteor, especially a Psychic from my Latios, so I'm going to decide to actually bring in my Gliscor here in hopes to force him to take recoil damage, and this also gives me an opportunity to go ahead and get up my Stealth Rocks, which are going to be very nice because now I can start getting off that very needed chip damage on the Sceptile and especially that Darmanitan, as he does end up making an aggressive switch into his own Sceptile. And I don't go for U-turn because again I just really wanted to get on my rocks there, so I'm going to be forced to switch out here, although I'm very positive that he most likely is going to want to go for either his Grass Stab move, or if for some reason it does have the Hidden Power Ice, then that means he most likely has no way to do any damage to my Scizor. So I'm going to switch here into my Scizor, expecting him just to go for an offensive move and not the Hidden Power Fire right away, as he does luckily go for the Dragon Pulse. This is really nice, and even though I am more of a bulky variant of Scizor, this is not actually that bad, because after going for the Bullet Punch damage here, I can actually put this Sceptile in range of where a Psychic from my Latios should be able to knock him out. So he's going to finish me off here with the Hidden Power Fire, which is no big deal because now this allows me to bring in the monster and the queen of the UU tier, Latios, and because I am Scarfed, I am guaranteed to outspeed his Sceptile. So even though I am down 3-4, things are actually still looking very good for me in this matchup here. So I will go straight for the Psychic, as he actually decides to bring in his Gliscor, possibly thinking that I would go for the Draco Meteor. And I'm not gonna lie, I was very close to actually clicking Draco Meteor, but ultimately after checking the calc and seeing how much damage Bullet Punch did to the Sceptile, it should have been in range of Psychic. So Psychic was definitely my best and safest play in that scenario, as I will be able to 2-hit KO the incoming Gliscor, which is really nice because now that is one less bulky mon I have to worry about. As in comes the Vikavolt after the Stealth Rocks, he is definitely in range of where even if he was like an Assault Vest set, I think if he was like max Spadef, max HP Assault Vest, then he actually would have had a chance to live the Psychic. So that would have been worst case scenario, and luckily that's not what he was, so I'm able to knock him out. As in comes the Darmanitan. At this range, he can actually still live a Psychic, so I don't really want to stay in here and potentially take a U-turn. So what I'm going to do is just decide to sack off my Sceptile, because realistically it's not doing anything in this match. And if he did want to go for the Flare Blitz, then I would have been able to get up, off a little bit more Flare Blitz recoil damage on the Darmanitan, and that would have been really nice because it would have guaranteed him in range of where Psychic would have been able to revenge kill him and knock him out. As in comes the Sceptile. Since he is below 50%, this also means that my Psychic will be able to ensure a KO on his Sceptile, and I'm pretty positive that he's not running any HP investment. Typically Sceptiles are just Mega Sceptiles, sorry, are just max special attack with max speed, so I will be able to knock him out here with the Psychic. And at this point his last mon is the Darmanitan, which I was actually still a little bit concerned that maybe he could live a Psychic here, so I'm gonna kind of make an unnecessary play here, and I'm actually going to bring in my Gliscor just because I wanted him to take an extra round of recoil damage. That way I could try to avoid any scenario in which this Darmanitan could have possibly lived a Psychic coming from my Latios. So yeah, I will just end up sacking off my Gliscor here, and this will allow me to then bring in my Latios. And since this Darmanitan is going to be at such low HP, I will definitely be able to guarantee knocking him out here with the following Psychic, and that is going to be the narrow 1-0 victory in my favor. So Volcanion actually did end up putting a decent amount of work in this match because it was able to open up a hole in my opponent's team to allow for Latios to come in and just kind of start clicking its stab move and wrecking everything. So hopefully you guys did enjoy the fun close match. Make sure to hit that like button down below and answer the comment question of the day. And with that being said, I will see you all tomorrow with 2 more uploads. So thank you all for watching. Later, everybody.
No matter where you're at, I'm not here to make friends, it's time to attack and deplete your HP with a final smash. Don't make me turn around and pull a 6-foot hacks. 6 foot hacks. Yeah. 6 foot hacks. Yeah. 6 foot hacks.